Him. He was Timothy. He was Timothy, man.
Hey, he was M. Duncan.
Him Duncan. He was
Him
Tim
Duncan.
Duncan. Timothy Duncan.
Listen, you just jumped in on a little just random hoop talk like we usually do, but let's get to it, man. The season finale of 94 Feet of Life. 94 Feet of Life is the Facebook group. 94 Feet of Life is the YouTube. Notifications on. We're going to be taking a break. We will probably be back around mid-September when the WNBA playoffs get started. But if anything big happens over the summer, keep your notifications on because we'll do instant reaction shows. They're not going to be planned out. They're not going to be a bunch of advertising. You just need to make sure you locked in and be ready at the spur of the moment. Trav is in the building. Ham is in the building. We got a special guest with us. I ain't gonna call him a guest. This is family right here.
Ain't no guess. Ain't no guess.
I like to be proud of it. Our main man, Coach Lester Stewart of AZ Compass Prep, is in the building. I'm glad he's here with us, man. We're gonna talk a little bit about kind of the summer hoop scene a little bit. This is 94 feet of off season. We're gonna talk draft, free agency, the trade market, Team USA, maybe a little bit. We're gonna talk, and then we definitely again Coach Les on the summer scene. Fellas, what's going on? Let's start with a quick round. Everybody doing what's on everybody's mind.
I'm on vacation, man. I ain't thought about no draft. I looked at the free agency list about 30 minutes ago just to see who was on there.
Yeah.
I'm watching the mock draft show on NBA TV right now. Shout out to NBA TV. I didn't even know they hired Andy Katz. I didn't even know he was over there. But he hosts the mock draft show right now as we speak. The day before the draft, if you don't catch this for later on. But I'm just in the fan mode right now. I don't want to analyze or break down nothing like that. I can do this with y'all, all day long. But it's like, cats coming to me, hey, what you think the grid is gonna do in the draft? I don't know, but I'm gonna watch find out what the fuck they gonna do. I know that. I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna see what's up. I don't do draft evaluations. I'm cool.
Trav, I want to go to you. A year ago, you were sitting here with the big fish, the biggest fish in the draft seed last year, Victor Wembanyama. This year, the Spurs sitting at 4-8.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
4-8. So Ham said he watched this as a fan. I'm gonna give this to you as armchair GM. Keep both picks, trade up, or take maybe one or two of them picks and package it for an established star to kind of speed up the process building around Victor. What would you do?
Man, the Spurs, if people know the Spurs have somewhat been conservative for the last past 20 plus odd years because we have always had that one superstar or other superstars to build around of. Hey man, go gusto. Get that number one pick and go and get that 7-1 kid overseas, man. That's my thing of it. But if we're going to use those 4 and 8 picks, make sure we get a guard that knows how to control the basketball, that knows how to get across half court, that knows how to pass, and also go for a nice, you can go for a nice big that ain't limited, that you trying to convert to a point guard, make them a big and go from there, man. I mean, I think we're in a win-win situation no matter what with our 4 and 8 picks or trading up to be that one pick.
Coach Les, I'm gonna go to you. This is a draft that question marks are. It's being kind to say that it's a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of question marks. So with that, with so many question marks and no certain number one, who is a guy that you look at and say maybe lower lottery, maybe back end of the first is gonna have some value, is gonna be able to help somebody right away if some of these guys that get drafted at the top don't kind of pan out.
I know this might sound like I'm being a homer right now.
Go ahead, do it,
I
man.
know this gonna sound this way, but I have to, cause well, I know I'm gonna sound like a homer, and I don't care. I really don't care, but I think he has the most NBA ready body in the draft. I think he has the most NBA ready skill, and I think he's at a prime position at what everybody needs. And that's Terrence Shannon Jr. from the University of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
I think and then let me first start out by saying, Amen. I am so happy that he got his day and he was able to prove his innocence from the whole way through. He never wavered. Never, didn't take no plea. He knew. So just off the strength of that, congrats to that young man. But I think that's the dude in the draft that if you get him, because like he's really somebody that could go from anywhere from, I would say, 9 on down. But I think he's like, we'll revisit this in like 5 years, and he'll be the dude that's like, dang, because he can guard multiple positions. And as we seen in these NBA finals, and what we talked about 2 years ago in the finals about switchable. We talked about it 2 years ago. He fits the definition of being switchable, and he's ready. Like, I mean, he looks like his body's the NBA athlete already. So I think Terrence Shannon Jr. is probably be the surprise of the draft. That wherever you pick him, you're gonna get more bang for your buck.
I think he's a guy where the lower, nobody wants their stock to quote unquote fall. But him going like second half of the first round would not be the worst thing to happen. Like you get onto a team in a better situation where you can learn around some real pros and be in a winning culture, that would be a great spot for him. You fall to like go ahead.
I was saying, you play to your big money faster when you come from that route, as opposed to that first round guaranteed route, just off the Gil Arenas route. You come in through second round, you get to that bag, that real bag, not that no disrespect to the rookie extension bag. I mean, that's 30% of the salary cap. That's a lot of bread. But, what I'm saying, you can play yourself into that even quicker before you get into that, that fourth year. So, what I'm saying? So if he coming in, like you said, Big Shot, he on the squad where he got a good veteran presence, they got a good flow, he can come in and contribute right away and make that kind of impact. That's all good. It makes it just like when you can get a cat like that, just get his foot in the door of the league and get that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see about, those kind of draft stories are always cool to see.
And you know what though? What's starting to happen though? Because Gilbert Arenas, that did happen with Gilbert Arenas. They starting to get some of these second round picks and starting to lock them in for 3 or 4 years now. That's what's starting to happen. I can tell you this now. Jabari Walker with the Trailblazers had a breakout year, but guess what? Portland got him for 1 more year on that second round money. He had 4 years in, so next summer, he gonna be a UFA. They got to figure it out. So these teams getting smart, like, wait a minute, let me see.
They
had to.
Because the thing about it is that the agents, so the agents with guys like that, knowing like you're getting great value, they in that second round, all right, let's try to get 3-4 years. Now those guys are getting that years of service, so they careers extended, and hey, like they say, somebody gonna hit. So right now, year 3 is what you expect. He had a great year 3. Or year 2, it was his second year. Yeah, year 2. Now he going into year 3. They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out because that's great value pick right there. So, you know, you gonna find your Jokic,
Yeah.
second rounder. You know, so I said like, you know, it ain't bad going in the second round because you can kind of. I say nowadays how the NBA is, not getting drafted or going in the second round, you kind of running your own show at that point.
Yeah, you're right. It's no longer like where if you were undrafted, that was like, oh man. But now,
That's
not be we're seeing more guys undrafted mid low second round who become, even if they're not joking, they become serviceable NBA players. You could play for a long time.
Terrence Mann,
Terrence Mann.
That's a dude who went undrafted. He's like considered a vet right now.
So it's gonna be interesting. The couple guys I'm just kind of naming throwing out. I'm gonna be really interested to see where, and I'm gonna bring this back to Trav a little bit. I think where the Kentucky guards go is gonna be really interesting because me personally, and I've read some mocks and looked at it. I think Rob Dillingham is the better player of the two. But everything I'm reading says, Reed Shepherd's gonna go in the top 5. Rob Dillingham might be the back end of the lottery. Like, so that's if I'm probably like looking for something because that's what I want to see is where those two go because I think Dillingham is considerably the better player in my eyes.
Hands down.
I think that the reason why a lot of them look at Reed Shepherd, a lot of them now that the NBA Finals ended the way they ended, what are we looking for now in our backcourts? 6'3", 6'4", nice size that can knock down the open shot, and also what they do on the other end that all basketball players should be doing worldwide list. They should defend because that's what basketball contains of. And Reed Shepherd does that a lot better than Dillingham. But if you want that excitement, you want that that Tyrese Maxey type of deal, that's Dillingham. Dillingham they both gonna be okay. I don't expect them to be on the bottom end of this draft. Not those two. If they're not lottery, they are top 20. Both of them. So, but I think the more they look at Reed Shepherd, they look at Reed Shepherd for playing both ends of the basketball a little bit better than Dillingham.
It's again, it's not the big name, it's not the big fish, but I think this draft is real intriguing. And I think where it leads to is now, do we see moves get made on draft night? Because it's not a great, the free agency class, which we're going to talk about here shortly, is not great. So I think a lot of teams, the way to improve your team, you say, hey, I'm not sure about this draft. The free agent class ain't that great. It's going to be moves made. So let's get into that, and then, Coach, let's definitely keep your hand up. I'm definitely coming to your way. I think this offseason is going to be. I'm not going to say it's going to be a flurry of trade, but I think it's going to be some guys moving this offseason. I think, and especially we talk about the cap, it's just hard to keep teams together now. It made it a lot harder to keep your team together. And I look at it, and I'll kind of go back to Trav, not Trav, but everybody can chime in. I think a guy like Jimmy Butler, I think is a name that likely, I'm not going to say he's going to get traded. I'm not going to be shocked if it happens. Older player, 35 years old. Time flies. I think Jimmy moved. I think you look at the Hawks and the Cavaliers, the small backcourt thing ain't really working on either side. Is it Darius Garland who goes? Is it DeJounte Murray who goes? So, fella, let's kind of get there to the trade market.
I'm gonna give you a twofer right now.
Go ahead.
Y'all probably seen it. They got draft, free agency, or it's a threefer. I spread that the Memphis Grizzlies could be looking to trade Marcus Smart in the 9th pick to the Rockets for the 3rd pick. So the Grizzlies could draft Donovan Cleaning.
I heard the same thing.
And if you're huge, yeah,
Heard the
I know
same thing.
you down, you in the heart of it. If you do that, in the Rockets, I would love to see who's still available at 9. Because the Rockets would be my surprise team in 2024, 2025 season.
They got a squad, man.
Because Jalen Green looked like he's figured it out. Fred VanVleet is Fred. And you put Fred and Marcus next to each other, I hope you got a kennel. Dogs right there. And they get the young boy right, and then whoever they draft at 9, I think, man, I think the Rockets. I hope the Rockets do that move. I hope the Grizzlies pull it off too, because a nice young big that can do things.
Mm-hmm.
The Grizzlies. I know Ham said he ain't really analyzing the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies is really simple. They just need to be healthy. The Grizzlies basically haven't been healthy for a year.
Healthy, and they need the big, without question, because you're not giving Steven Adams back. You just getting Brandon Clark back. You're still lighting the ass across front. It's just for what it is. Donovan Cleveland is really who I was looking at from February going forward. Probably even sooner than that, because I'm like, okay, he ain't coming back to school. The boy, they just kept going. I'm like, nah, he ain't gonna be back in stores next year. And I knew that Zach Edey was gonna be floating around, the possibility of trading up there. Then I knew we was gonna be slow enough and we were gonna be in the lottery anyway. So it was gonna kind of take care of itself in terms of the position. And so it was like, okay, really about like Christmas time after y'all went out, it was like, okay, I'm looking at June now, not for the finals. I'm looking at late June. How we gonna reconstruct this thing? Like you said, Big Shaq, gotta get healthy, but you need to get the best available big. Wing wise, you made it cool to where you can get some value for Marcus Smart, because G.G. Jackson came up and showed that he ready for action.
Yes, sir.
What's my other man? Mm-hmm. My other guy that was on the wing last year as well. He same thing as well. So you taking care of that. We finally got some decent wing activity in there for a change. You know what I'm saying? But get the best available big and get healthy. I think Ja gonna be cleared for basketball activities by the end of the week. So that's a good look. You know what I'm saying? So everything coming back into their fruition.
Man, that man they're hosting a 600 kid camp this week.
Yeah, he brought 600 kids that Saturday morning, man. Crazy.
Now, I'm gonna give now speaking of your division, and Les brought up Houston. I think Houston we talk about people on the move, and I've heard this a couple times this week. So remember, at the end of the year for Houston, they were playing Jabari Smith really as a smaller 5. And they had Jabari Smith, Jalen Green. Don't have me lying. I don't know which of them Thompson twins it was, but it was one of them. I think A-Man is on the Rockets.
I think that's A-Man in Houston. Yeah, I think that's A-Man.
A-Man, they had Cam Whitmore. Here's the name that again, I'm not Woj. I ain't got the inside. It's Alperen Sengun.
There you go.
being the guy that gets moved. And again, it ain't got nothing in this new NBA. The switchable defender, the mobile big.
They like
Do
left
not
tackles
be
in football right
surprised. Don't be surprised if he's the one that gets moved.
Who's gonna take that chance? If he was to move, who's gonna take that chance with that injury he just had? Because the boy was hooping this year. He was
He was-
hooping.
I like
now. You were hoping his ass off.
I like him a lot. I just see where this, as Les talked about, where this league is going.
Yeah.
And maybe if you the Rockets, you revisit the Mikal Bridges thing. You revisit that move, possibly. But I think Les is right. I think the Rockets can be the Rock. They say the draft starts at this number. Whenever the Rockets pick, that might be when the draft starts. Because I think the Rockets are in a real good spot to do something if they really want to.
And like you said, though, Big Shot, it's hard to keep it together. And this time, it ain't the players' fault. It's the structure of it this time. This is the whole, and you can't. It's like now more so than ever. How can you blame the unrestricted free agent who want to link up and finagle it however they gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like how can you blame? Because you got a very limited time to take a shot in it at the best possible group that you can put together. And if you got that kind of muscle to get that kind of stroke to get that as a player, take that. Take your
Look
shot.
at Denver. Denver won the championship 12 months ago.
Right.
And they already are looking down the barrel of the second apron. Because the Jamal Murray extension is coming very soon.
Yeah.
The Aaron Gordon extension is on the way. They got to decide by Sunday what they're going to do with Caldwell Pope.
Yep.
And it looked like the money says we can't bring him back. So
Bring
now,
him back. Yeah.
you hoping that Peyton Watson, Braun, and some of these guys that you drafted are developing because financially we might not be able to keep our best perimeter defender because we had to get rid of Bruce Brown. We didn't bring Bruce Brown back.
That hurt.
So
That hurt him.
it is so, this CBA really makes it really difficult to keep squads together.
And I'm looking at it right now. KCP got the player option. So
Right.
it's in his hand.
It's on his side. It's on his side.
All in his court.
Yeah. Speaking of Bruce Brown, he got the club option.
Yeah.
Team option. So he, the Bruce Brown thing was, I gotta go get this money. But you didn't have the same value. You may have got paid your market value, but you didn't play your value.
You didn't play to it, right?
Right. They don't know how to. Denver is a perfect fit in Denver. But I get it. This money ain't. You got to get this money while you can. Got to get this money while you can. There's some guys on this free agent list that I'm just like, ooh.
Les, I looked at the free agent list, just kind of looked at some of the bigger names, and I'm like, after Paul George, I mean,
you got
Country for old men, man.
Hey, after Paul George, it's like how can I put this? It's like a bunch of guys that if this was 2016,
you would be, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But y'all wouldn't do
Yeah.
Tobias Harris in 2016.
Yeah, Tobias Harris.
DeMar DeRozan a free agent? Like,
Tobias Harris, DeMar DeRozan, James Harden, Russell Westbrook,
Like if this was
Klay
2000
Thompson, Tyus Jones.
LeBron, right?
if this was 2016, as I'm looking at this free agent list, and I'm like, no way, you're telling me that Kyle Lowry is available. Now I'm like, no way, Kyle Lowry is available.
And 8 years later, 8 years before, 8 years later, 8 years before, 8 years later.
Like if this is 2016, I am chomping at the bit because Buddy Hield. Like, what?
What?
Buddy Ball? Are you serious right now? Now I'm just like,
Trav, you said in the group chat, you were like, man, Klay Thompson's a warrior. This ain't how it's supposed to go. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is it.
if Klay, hey,
I think this is it.
I think Klay, after the injury, his year ended in 22. It ended in 22. Ended in 22.
You heard me though, injuries.
Yeah, injuries.
He got
He
hurt.
did. He did
He
have two
came from
doubles
back to back, from an
Yeah,
ACL
hurt.
to an Achilles.
to an Achilles,
Yeah.
right?
He got hurt getting healthy. He got
In
hurt,
rehab.
and he
He
got
got
hurt getting healthy.
yes.
Mm.
He missed a lot of time.
It's too full.
But again, like I said, that 2022 year was a special year for him. But after that, it's that time. I don't want to see him like that because, of course, like I said, like I always tell y'all, my bottom dollar to go and see anybody play that is healthy is Klay Thompson. He just played the game the right way. But I mean, for Golden State and for him, I think they done reached a mutual agreement that it's just time. And looking at it from a fan perspective and also from just being a human at this point, just having the empathy. It's I understand Klay, but it's just that time. It is that time.
Yeah, I think it's that time for Klay. I think the Clippers, I think, are in a tough spot, right? They're moving into the new arena. If they don't if they don't get Paul George back, you almost have to take Harden and Westbrook back. Because you can't go into that new arena with all three of them go.
Yes, you can.
You could.
That's what I'm getting ready to tell you. You know why you could do that?
Okay.
Because next year is what year?
2025.
Next year is 2025. Okay? Next year is 2025. And when the arena open?
They go into it this year.
I tell you what. Let James go. Let Paul go. Russ probably wasn't going to be invited back in the field. Kawhi may only play 37 games. Be bad. Be really bad. Because you want to sell tickets in that new building? Well, I know a guy right now that's in Raleigh, North Carolina. And y'all know who I'm talking about. What? No. Durham.
You say he where?
Durham. That's all about you said right. That's what I
Sorry.
thought. You
Okay.
got when
Okay,
you said Durham,
okay.
yes, you got the great white
right
height.
now.
You got the great white height.
He's in Durham, North Carolina right now.
Yeah.
as we speak. He's a Blue Devil.
So you saying bloopers for Cooper?
Hey, I'm saying be sad for Flag. Be sad for Flag.
Be bad for Flag.
I'm telling you this right now. I'm telling you this right now. After having a whole year and actually 3 times personally, it's some people that have it and he got it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a huge draw. A huge draw. And I'm telling you this right now. With the draft this year, as bad as it is, because I had a scout that said to me, I said, man, what you think about the draft? He said, well, 2 things. This is just like 2013, the Anthony Bennett draft. I'm glad we picking in the second round. Then he says, you know what? I'm excited about next year.
Yeah, 2025 is gonna be a really good is gonna be a good year.
I'm just saying, if you the Clippers, you just might want to be bad for Flag.
Bad for Flag, bloopers for Cooper.
Because I'm telling you,
Hashtag both of those. We getting this started.
I'm telling you right now, if they really want to make some money, they really want to pack that place. Because I'm telling you this right now, it was people coming near and far to watch that boy play.
That's the perfect outfit for what they got going on across town too.
I'm telling you that right now.
I agree. I like that, man. I mean, cause Juju still run LA though. You know, I mean, they like Juju don't run LA right now.
Speaking of
Just,
Juju,
I like your plan. I like your idea.
I would be like, go ahead. NBA owe us one anyway. They owe us one. They owe us one anyway. We took Oliver Candy in '98.
Shout out Ola with Candy.
Michael
Got it.
Olsen.
But speaking of Juju, how about them ladies?
I'll tell you this, and we talking. This is off season, WNBA or something. Let's talk about it. I will say this, and with all due respect to the Lisa Leslie's, the Rebecca Lobo, like that era of the WNBA. Right now, this is probably the best that league has ever been. And take all the Caitlyn drama and all that off the table. I'm talking about just the play.
Night in, night out.
The play.
And you actually know names.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember people in the barbaric stages of the WNBA? Oh man, that chick from the Sparks is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, I ain't going on no more. Hey,
You better know Hombre and Rakia Jackson and Cameron Brink. You better know.
You better know.
And goddamn it, learn how to spell their name.
Better
know. Misspelling their names on Twitter and mispronouncing them all in public like that.
When we come back from break, we're gonna have to get Terica on for sure. But like Les said, it is nightly. It's nightly, and you look at like
household names,
and what's coming down the pipe.
Juju, Paige.
Right.
You got Hidalgo, Olivia Miles. You got the crew from South Carolina, Reloaded, LSU, Reloaded.
You got the young lady at Iowa State. You got Paige running mate.
It is play, and this is what I'm gonna say when it comes to the WNBA. You gotta remember this league started in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We only 27 years in.
Right.
the NBA got a 50-year head start.
And I promise you, the first 27 for the NBA was not beautiful.
Oh
God,
no. Oh no.
Not beautiful. I promise you.
but they need it. And I hate to sound like this because it's probably just something they done said on the network. So I don't care. But you kind of need the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing. Because you had the Magic Bird. You had the Magic Bird thing.
Here's
I'm
where
fine
I'm
with
at.
it.
I'm with it. What I think is gonna make it is when as both of them get better. What I think people where the Angel Reese fan club has kind of gone left is you thought this was gonna be Iowa just at this level.
Nah.
It ain't that. Like they are so like you look at the Olympic team. First of all, I think the USA women's team gonna beat everybody by about 65.
Man, they finna destroy. They finna do a 92 USD.
You right. It might be the 92 Dream Team all over again in Paris. Looking
That's
at their
how
roster.
good. That's how good their women's team is.
They
But
flex.
you look at the women on that team, and it's like y'all thought she was just gonna walk in here doing what she did at Iowa against these people.
And then they ain't never operated like that with USA basketball for the women. They operate on a whole different flow. It's like you got to be one of them. They're not going off of like popularity in America. That bullshit that Stephen A. and Shannon were trying to argue, growing the game. Nah.
Marketing.
First of
That's
all,
the word. Marketing.
First of all, the women's game across the globe, the American ladies are a draw. The only somewhere they weren't a draw is at home. That's the only somewhere they weren't a draw was at home. So going over there ain't a problem for that. You know what I'm saying? That's for our eyes here in America. Watching on NBC and other, whether Peacock or whatever else they gonna be putting, the Olympic competitions on. But in general, it's like they gonna get theirs anyway. You know what I'm saying? They routinely dominated. I think the last time they didn't win the Olympics was the year that the Dream Team went. They didn't win in '92. I think they didn't kick everybody's ass the rest of the way since. So
they the one. I think it's 8. They're going on their 8th. They're going on their
something
8th.
crazy.
And they're going on their 8th
and
straight.
Taraji about to set a record, right?
And Diana
Taurasi about to
6.
Taurasi about to
win 6 for her.
And see, here go the cold part, right? Like somebody put in our group. Don't tell me about what Caitlin Clark ain't doing. I saw Candace. First of all, you comparing Caitlin Clark to a real live unicorn. Like when they talk about the unicorn in the women's game, Candace Parker was a real live unicorn.
Hold up. Before you go deeper into that, let's do a little comparison. Candace Parker won Rookie of the Year, correct?
Right.
Did she also win MVP that same year she was Rookie of the Year?
Right. Something that nobody in the history of that game has done.
Ain't never done.
I don't think in the history of
except Wes Unseld.
Wes.
Right, but look how far back you had to go.
Look at that. That's what 70 what?
Exactly.
See, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. Leave that alone. Leave Candace alone, man. These women were telling y'all from the get-go what was going to happen. Y'all try to make it a racial issue when a black lady, or Cheryl Swoops, said that don't be a Cheryl, but Cheryl was right. But now y'all wanna talk when Breanna Stewart said something, when Diana Taurasi, see, when the Europeans start saying something, now you want to make it a national issue because you know your power as the media thrives on that type of talk from another.
When the talk should be like Asia Wilson is fastly becoming a I hate the GOAT conversation and all that, but she's to me, she's the best woman player I've seen like the last about 15 years.
Decade. Yeah.
I'm
About 15 years.
I'm about to say something. I'm about to say something, and I'm gonna say this. A lot of people are lucky right now. A lot of these women are lucky that's in that association right now. That who I'm about to say. A lot of people lucky Maya Moore hung it up early.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people. A lot of people lucky.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Real shit.
A lot of people lucky that Maya decided to pursue other
Pursue
Do
options.
other-
something else.
You know, a lot
Right.
of people she
Maya Moore was one of the best players in the WNBA.
Yeah,
Hell,
at the time she left.
She's one of the best basketball players, period, to me. Gender regardless. She just
And
hoop.
then and that's what that's what I'm saying. You look at Asia Wilson is like watching. It's really like watching Toronto Chris Bosh. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same game. Face up.
She meaner than him though.
Oh yeah, she mean it to him though.
she nasty. She's nasty.
Yeah.
My favorite player on that team is Jackie Young, man. Jackie is one of them ones, dog. She handles the rock, she shooting the rock, she defend, she does everything for that team to win. But the most important person on that team, although those two are good, and y'all seen it if y'all watched that game the other night, Chelsea great.
That's great.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
Benny. That's Benny Johnson.
She
Yeah.
is the key to cranking that engine up, man. I'm talking about she just does everything.
Does
She does
everything.
everything.
So we're
I'm
gonna get
tell
up
you
out
what
of
I
here in
saw the
about
other day.
we're gonna get up out of here in about 5-10 minutes. I want Les to come back. So Les, obviously this is heavy time for you. Off season, the summer sort of circuit is going on, man. So talk to us about what's going on in AZ Compass Prep and what's the travel, what's the schedule like over the summer.
And we just finished planning a big Scholastic Live event called Section 7, which was hosted at in Glendale, Arizona, actually where the Cardinals play at. So it's pretty live. We had a lot of, some of our new team was here. We've done a great job recruiting for this year. I think, heck, we probably got 10, nine of our 10 players are ranked in the top 150 in their respective classes. The only one that's not ranked is a kid from Sweden, because he didn't play over here, but he's a starter. He's the best U18 prospect in Sweden. So maybe somebody to keep a lookout. Um, we'll probably hit up all the summer events, most of them at least. Peach Jam being the biggest one, So I've been making an appearance down there at Peach Jam, just watching players that we have on our roster, looking at future players, future opponents. So I mean, it's gonna be, I'm glad we were able to get a roster intact before beforehand by the end of June. Because last year, man, it was at this time we were still trying to figure out getting players. We had like 4 players on our roster at this time, so this year we got 10.
Okay.
We're sitting at 10 so far. We got some, like I said, I feel like we got some guys that, probably 2 years from now, if I'm fortunate, I could be back on here with y'all talking about the draft, and I could tell you about a few guys that I coached that's getting ready to get in that draft. Possibly, if I'm really fortunate enough, I'll be in the green room with
That's what we speaking. We speaking on you being in the green room.
so like I said, it was a great year, first year at this level, which like I would tell people this, people that sorry about that, people that that don't watch this level of basketball, this EYBL Scholastic, Prep, NIBC basketball, I think you really should. I think you should really take the time when those games come on ESPN or NBA TV. I think you really need to take a look and watch because at this level, there's good coaching, there's good players, it's good branding. You play real basketball at this RBL Scholastic. It's just real basketball. Like it's not, we honestly like a lot of our kids get recruited. A lot of our kids get recruited and they're ready to play when they get there. Because just to schedule the daily regimen these guys are on. Like I said, you playing with look over, we got the number 4 point guard in the country in his class. But then he's facing off against the number 3 point guard in his class.
Yeah.
A 6'9" big going against another 6'9" big. You got a shooter going against another shooter. You got, it's that iron sharpens iron environment where we talk about one and dones. This is where it starts. This is where it starts. This is why, and there's no offense to the colleges, and I've been to college. I know you can only do so much in 8 months. I know that for a fact. I know there's only so much a coach can do in 8 months. It's hard to do something in 8 months and then think this dude's going to be the number 5 pick. There's a reason why they're saying Cooper Flag, AJ DeBanster are the next 2 number 1 picks. Cool.
Yeah.
They ain't in college yet. So where did they watch them?
They watched them at your level.
Yeah. AJ DeBanster ain't played in college yet. So how? Well, you know what I'm saying? So, and you'll see a lot of guys that's on this list. And if you go back and you look at the draft, a lot of these kids come from this league. A lot of these kids come from this NIBC, EYBL Scholastic. You probably see about 5 or 6 kids in the first round drafted. Tomorrow you'll see them drafted. That came out of it. So I tell you this now, like the NBA, the NBA is really invested in it because they got a portion of it that says the NBA future starts now. That's like that's their Instagram page, and they put a lot of games on NBA TV. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said future starts now. So I'm just telling people, if you are a basketball head and you want to actually be a part of conversations and actually sound like you know what you're talking about, start watching this level now. Start having a grasp on the stars of tomorrow. Now.
Yeah. We definitely gonna be tuned in. I know we you talk about NBA TV showing games, ESPNU had games. I know Vegas is like kind of the big hot spot around NBA Summer League, where it's like NBA is Team USA, prep stuff. So we know, and we just glad because you are a 94 feet alum. I'm a brag, humble brag. I have known Les. We met one time in real life, but I've known Les for 5 years now, 5-6 years, long time.
Longer than that.
Yeah, probably right. I'm being conservative with 5. It's probably about 7, 8. And why 10?
That's been there.
Yeah.
Les was down with us when we were still doing this on Blog Talk Radio. So
I remember they had y'all send me like, hey, call this number.
All the number press.
Les was down with us on Blog Talk.
Call going on. He had a conference call.
The conference call though. And watching our brother Les progress through this thing and move up through levels and move from this state to this state to this state, just chasing.
He clogged them his Griswold.
Oh
He
yeah,
on the move.
yeah. He Marco Polo for real.
Man,
Yes,
cross country.
sir.
That's why he got the name Worldwide Lens, man.
Worldwide
Worldwide,
leg.
baby.
Our main man G2. Like, you know, this little group, this little group of ours I'm not gonna say we produce them because I ain't gonna take credit for their work, but we know people
It's
in there that really do this. Like we say, it's not just a bunch of dudes talking. That's more than a catchphrase. That's real.
That's real talk.
it's a lot of
Real, man. Right.
it's a lot of things that like people don't know that when they go out and they put it out there, those are conversations that was had privately 2-3 months before movies was made.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. I ain't gonna go speak on it, but just know like
Nah.
just know like if somebody putting something out there or somebody say something, just know like it's not just people just
Listen.
like he said, it's not a bunch of dudes just talking.
It's not just a bunch of dudes talking. Trust me, when college coaching stuff start, I just watched it ticker and like, yep. I heard, yep. So it's a pleasure to see, man. So we want you to shout out Les, G2, MJ, MJ, what he's doing, like, people thinking, oh, it's just a Facebook group and they just talk. Okay. All right.
We do this shit, man. Yeah.
All right.
Do this shit. Yeah. Yesterday marked the 2 years for me for being on 98.5 every Friday at 11:30 with my man Johnny Reddy. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm there plugging youtube.com/94 feet of light all the time, so it's what it is, man. We do this,
J Ham got a regular radio spot in Memphis. He got opportunities outside of basketball in the Memphis rest. Like, it's not just a bunch of people just sitting here talking crazy. Like,
blessings, man. Blessings everywhere.
And the thing that's like him, he has the historian name for a reason. And I don't even mean to segue from basketball when I speak on him. But I could tell you this. If I asked him what was the main event in WrestleMania 1996, he could tell.
92?
I said
That was
96.
a double main event, right? 96? Oh, that's the Iron Man match. That's Shawn Michaels Bret Hart. It went out.
And I promise you that wasn't scripted. I promise you that wasn't scripted.
And you could probably ask me something about the 96 finals and I know that shit. Just saying. I'm a nerd. I do that,
Listen, we are active participants in this space. So y'all rock with it. So look, we about to go on vacation. We will see y'all mid-September. Again, keep the notifications on because if there is breaking news that's worth talking about, we will be here. Again, we're not gonna advertise it. We just gonna appear. So subscribe to the YouTube notifications on. Worldwide, Ham, Trav, 94 Feet of Light, basketball for the people, by the people. Enjoy y'all summer. We'll